Hello and welcome to the first episode of European Rail Review. We are starting in Germany. Proposal for high-performance rail network by DB. Deutsche Bahn has identified around 40 sections of track in Germany that need renovation and plans to carry out a series of infrastructure projects to increase efficiency and capacity. The rail company intends to bundle construction measures much more closely and completely renew routes that need rehabilitation within the shortest possible period of time. This means that the routes will be closed, after which no major construction work will be necessary for several years. At first, the general renovation of the Riedbahn between Frankfurt am Main and Mannheim will begin in the summer of 2024, with the corridor section Hamburg-Berlin and Emmerich-Oberhausen following a year later. Battery trains to be tested on difficult Westerland routes. A battery-powered train pilot project is set to be launched in Germany, where 2 battery trains will operate on the routes in the Westerland region of the country. The trains will use state-of-the-art battery technology, which will allow them to travel long distances without needing to be recharged. The routes in question are known to be challenging due to their steep inclines, but the battery trains are expected to perform well on these sections of the track. The pilot project is part of a larger effort to reduce carbon emissions in the country's transportation sector and move towards more sustainable forms of travel. Real-time train occupancy data improves boarding. S-Bahn Hamburg has developed a technology that provides real-time train occupancy data to passengers in Hamburg using existing PSI Transcom communication system. The technology uses sensors to collect occupancy data of individual coaches, which is then set through the PSI control system to displays at the next station. The traffic light display format enables passengers to locate available seats, reducing delays when boarding and disembarking and resulting in more punctual operations. The pilot phase will install the light gate sensor system in 16 stations by the end of March, with more stations to follow. Moving on to France. France to invest 100 billion euros in rail. France has unveiled plans to invest 100 billion euros in rail transport by 2040 as part of the government's efforts to reduce the country's carbon footprint. The plan aims to upgrade and expand the rail network, including launching express commuter trains similar to Paris' RER train system in major cities. The initiative is aimed at addressing inequalities between Paris and other parts of France in terms of public infrastructure, made worse by rising energy costs. Access to affordable transport has been a sensitive political issue in France, highlighted by the Yellow Vest movement that erupted over fuel prices. The government plans to make the investments with national rail operator SNCF, the European Union, and local governments. Construction of Montpellier-Perpignan high-speed line receives approval. The French government has given the green light for the construction of the 52-kilometer Montpellier-Béziers section of the future Montpellier-Perpignan high-speed rail line, which will cut travel time between Montpellier and Béziers by 18 minutes. The new section will also increase frequencies on regional passenger services by freeing up paths on the existing line. The project was financed in January 2022 and a special purpose body was formed in March 2022 to oversee delivery, financing and project management. The line is expected to be completed in 2034 with the Béziers-Perpignan section to follow by 2040. Let's travel to Italy. Trento's rail bypass project awarded. Italian rail operator Rete Ferroviaria Italiana has awarded a €934 million contract to a consortium led by Webuild to construct a rail bypass in Trento, which is part of the Brenner Base Tunnel project. The project aims to improve access to the Brenner Base Tunnel from the south by quadrupling the Fortezza-Verona section of the high-speed Munich-Verona corridor. The consortium will be responsible for designing and constructing 13 km of the line, which includes a 10.6 km long tunnel. The project has been identified as a strategic initiative for the development of sustainable mobility in Italy under the National Plan for Recovery and Resilience. Switzerland. Swiss long-term spending plan. The Swiss Ministry of Transport has released plans to improve and rebuild sections of the national rail network. The proposals, set to be passed in legislation due in 2026, will define stages of the long-term railway investment program, which was announced last year. 5 major projects will be considered, including rail hubs in Lucerne and Basel, upgraded and new lines between Bern and Lausanne, and upgraded or new lines between Winterthur and St. Gallen and Zurich and Aarau. To go ahead, each project must demonstrate a positive cost-benefit ratio and conform to Bahn 2050 program objectives. Let's continue with Serbia. Beograd-Nis railway modernization to receive European funding. The European Union has granted Serbia €600 million to modernize the country's railways and better connect it with the wider European network. The investment, part of the EU's €30 billion economic and investment plan for the Western Balkans, will fund the Corridor 10 project, linking Serbia with Croatia, Macedonia and Greece. The money will be used for a new Belgrade-Nis fast railway, which will operate at speeds of up to 200 km per hour and take around 100 minutes to travel between the two cities. The rest of the funding consists of a €1 billion loan from the European Investment Bank. Moving on with Poland. More trains for Lodz. PSA has secured a contract from Lodz Voivodeship to provide 4 3-car Regio 160 electric multiple units for Lodzka Kolej Aglomeracyjna, the local passenger operator. The new trains will feature air conditioning, Wi-Fi and a family area. The contract will enable Lodzka Kolej Aglomeracyjna to increase capacity on its services in response to the rapid growth in ridership experienced in 2022. The company currently operates 34 Stadler and NUAG electric units and 5 NUAG electro-diesel units. PKP Intercity has taken delivery of the last of the 81 coaches it ordered from FPS H. Cegielski in Poznań. The 700 million zloty order signed in 2018 included a mix of first and second class open and compartment cars, including those with bicycle storage and facilities for passengers with reduced mobility. The TSI compliant coaches are capable of speeds of up to 200 km per hour and come equipped with amenities such as passenger information systems, air conditioning, Wi-Fi, at-seat power sockets and lights. Ukraine reopened 2 rail lines to Poland after modernization project. Ukrainian Railways reopened 2 lines totaling 68.3 kilometers to the Polish border after modernization project. 1 line links Kyiv to the border station at Starszawa to the southwest, where cross-border passenger traffic from Poland last operated in 2010. The other line runs north to another crossing on the border with Poland and Nizhankowice. The refurbished lines in Ukraine will reduce rail travel distance between the Polish border towns of Kroshensko and Przemysl, reducing travel times between several counties of the Subcarpathian Voivodeship in the southeast of Poland. Approval from the Ukrainian cabinet is awaited for local cross-border services operated by Polish railways. Hungary. New integrated transport passes unveiled in Hungary. The Hungarian government has announced the introduction of new travel cards that will allow passengers to travel by train and bus on every inland line in Hungary, except for the municipal ones. The new travel cards will be introduced from May and will have a favorable price, especially for students. The national 30-day travel card will cost €49, which is less than the current 30-kilometer travel card. Spain. Contract for high-speed rail link to Madrid airport has been awarded. A consortium of Lantaya and ASCH Infraestructuras y Servicios has been awarded a €21.3 million contract by ADIF, the infrastructure manager of Spain, to carry out works for an 8.8-kilometer line. The line will allow high-speed trains to access Barajas Airport in Madrid. The project will improve transport links to the airport, providing faster and more efficient travel options for passengers. Lithuania. Announcement made for design tender of Vilnius Railway Hub. Lithuania LTG Infra has launched the tender for the design of Vilnius Railway Node, which will be located on the Kaunas-Vilnius connection on the Rail Baltica, with the contract expected to be awarded in the 3rd quarter of this year. The procurement will include Vilnius passenger station, which will become the International Rail Baltica station for passenger services, the regional stations of Vilnius Airport and Lentavaris, the Vilnius Intermodal Terminal for cargo services, freight train route, and connecting and approach railway roads. The Vilnius Railway Node will serve around 2.3 million passengers annually and carry 8.6 million tons of cargo. Let's head north to Norway. New trains for Norway from Stadler. Swiss manufacturer Stadler has secured a contract worth 730 million euros from Norwegian firm Norske Tog for the supply of 17 long-distance trains, with options for up to 100 more. The first Flirt-Next trains will be delivered to Norway in 2025, with the first going into service on the Bergen line in 2026. The trains, which will have a top speed of 200 km per hour, will replace existing vehicles on the Bergen line and feature both reclining seats and sleeping compartments, which can be converted into sitting areas during the day. Norske Tog will work with Stadler to adapt the trains before they go into production. United Kingdom. Testing underway for new electrodiesel trains on the West Coast Main Line. The first 2 of 13 Hitachi Class 805 electrodiesel train sets ordered for Avanti West Coast are undergoing testing ahead of entry into service later this year. The £350 million order includes 13 5-car Class 805 electrodiesel train sets for the London to North Wales route and 10 7-car Class 807 electric sets for services between London, the West Midlands and Liverpool. The trains are being produced at Hitachi Newton Aycliffe factory and are expected to bring a 61% cut in the fleet's carbon emissions, along with lower noise, roomier interiors, more reliable Wi-Fi, wireless charging for electric devices and a real-time customer information system. Finland. Finnish dry port commences operations. The Kouvola Rail and Road Terminal, the only rail and road terminal in Finland belonging to the European TEN-T Core transport network, has been completed and is ready to operate. The 42-hectare terminal has 2 broad gauge tracks, each 1,100 meters long and with an axle weight of 25 tons, suitable for electric locomotives and facilitating loading of trains without the need to split them. The Finnish Transport Infrastructure Agency owns the terminal's loading tracks, and Railgate Finland will manage it as an open access port company, making rail connections and port services accessible to inland industrial operators without their own rail connections. Netherlands. Night train between Amsterdam and Barcelona announced. European Sleeper has announced plans to launch a new night train between Amsterdam and Barcelona in 2025, following the successful launch of a route connecting Brussels, Amsterdam and Berlin. The new service will feature refurbished train carriages offering more comfort, modern touches and privacy. Seats on the night train will start at 49 euros, while beds will be priced at 159 euros. Europe. European Commission selects 10 pilot services to improve cross-border rail. The European Commission has announced its support for 10 pilot projects aimed at establishing new rail services or improving existing ones to improve cross-border rail connections across the EU. Pilots will connect, for example, Hungary, Austria and Western Romania, Germany, Denmark, Sweden and potentially Norway, Amsterdam and London, Amsterdam and Barcelona, Milan and Munich, with possible extension to Berlin. More can be seen on this map. The proposals were submitted by the rail sector and relevant authorities in response to the Commission's action plan to boost long-distance and cross-border passenger rail. And that's the end. Thank you for watching, and I'll be looking forward to see you next month when we come back with a new European rail review.